Hey everyone, welcome back again. So today we are going to talk about the planets in the third house. What does third house signify? Third house is all about your communication, it's all about your courage, it's all about your siblings. Without any delay, let's go further into uh, Sun in the third house. Starting with Sun, if you have Sun in the third house, it all depends. If you have Sun in its own sign, which is going to be Leo, or Sun in Aries, the effects are going to be different, like Sun is going to be exalted or Sun is in its own sign. So you can find the great effects over here. But in general, if you have Sun in the third house, these people are found to be adventurous, they're found to be powerful. Their elder brother, if you happen to have an elder brother or sister, they might live away from them. They are going to be famous in their social circles, especially through their public speaking skills. So whenever these guys talk, everyone pretty much wants to listen to them. They are usually good looking, and I mean, like in all the circle, you always feel like, I mean, you cannot ignore them, these kind of people. When they talk, they might come across as a quite learned person, as if they have, like idea of the subject. And because of this, I mean, like in their professional or and the businesses, I mean like business job, they achieve higher ranks. So because of that, they have higher status, they get more wealthy, they have like ample of opportunities. These guys, they might suffer from health challenges when they are of age, say 4 years, 8 years or 12 years. From the marriage perspective, they get married late in their life. Moving on to moon. If you have moon in the third house, so what is moon? So moon signifies like motherly care, right? So moon year, it shows like caring for your siblings, giving them the motherly love. Moon year shows like from your communication perspective, they are going to be soft spoken. They're not someone who will get quite aggressive and they'll come onto your face and say like, hey, you're wrong or you're this thing. Um, but they're usually kind of balanced. They're cautious while talking. They usually don't like to indulge. I mean, like have a conversation which will go the other way around. They're quite learned, and that can be sensed easily. Like whenever these guys are talking, you can easily get the impression like, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. No extra verbiage, point to point talk. Like one of the things in relation is your communication. The quality of life is determined by the quality of your communication. So if you have good communication, you have good relationships, right? So in their case, then due to their communication is so great, they are going to have a good marriage, they are going to have good relations, and their kids also, they will respect them. There is a chance that they might lose money early at the age of 24. It's not going to be huge sum of money, but yeah, quite a lot of money. Now, if you have Mercury in the third house, no, sorry, if you have Mars in the third house, Mars here is, I mean, like, this is one of the best positions of Mars, like, this is the house of courage, it's the house of communication. Um, so Mars here, it does great. I mean, like, these guys are courageous. Um, when they talk, they are quite, they speak out their mind. I mean, like, and it comes out to be quite heavy, like when they are talking. So, I mean, like the other person might get the impression like and it depends on the sign of the Mars. They might think like, hey, it's either a my way or highway. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes it depends on the aspect as well. But Mars easily is able to get through their things, like um, people in the military or some of the executives, like D-level of positions, directors, senior directors, they are kind of, sometimes they might appear to be pushy, or even the architects, senior architects. These guys have good Mars actually. There are chances they might have Mars in the third house. So when they say, okay, like as when a commander says like, okay, go attack. So the unit is totally pumped up, like, okay, yeah, the major is saying attack, so let's go and attack. So these guys are able to exhibit that level of confidence, motivate their troops, motivate the team, and they're quite popular among the company they work for or in their businesses. They might have a breakup before marriage. It's not that great of a position for Mars from the marriage perspective. Like as I said, quality of your life is determined by the quality of your communication. So in the case of marriage, if you're too aggressive, chances are it might not go well. These guys are religious. They are undoubtedly rich and wise. From the discomforts or from the health perspective, they might have some discomforts of bones. They might have some ear infections. Mars over here, it signifies that you might have more brothers than sisters. Moving on to Mercury. This is a good position of Mercury as well. Like communication house. Mercury likes communication. Mercury likes talking. So a salesman, like if you see some salesman who is good in talking, so chances are they might have exalted Mercury. They might have Mercury in Virgo over here. And so Mercury as a part of the third house, I mean, like it gives you all the things that you need from the business perspective. You can be cunning. You can be fickle-minded. Um, this position also shows that in terms of your say if you're working for a big MNC, you're working for a big Fortune 500 company, you will get success over there as well. These guys can be diplomatic at times, and as is the saying that there is no cookie cutter approach, and these guys exactly know how to use it. They will be different with different people, different strokes for different folks, and all, I mean, like these guys know how to make the money, how to get successful. They are a good speaker, and due to their communication, they attract many friends. They develop like a lot of networking. They are famous in their group circle, and they rise at the top level. I mean, they rise to the top level. Moving on to Jupiter. So if you have Jupiter in the third house, the aspects of Jupiter are great. Like it aspects the seventh house, it aspects ninth, it aspects your 11th house. And yes, you might have earnings in stocks. You can have, it all depends. I mean, like the Jupiter aspect is good or bad over here. I mean, in terms of, are there any other aspects as well? So overall, Jupiter over here, um, this person knows again like how to get his stuff done. They will be successful in life, and whenever they talk, they might come across as quite learned person. Because Jupiter is here, and they may not be that good with networking, and from success perspective, there might be a time in life that due to opposite gender they might face some hurdles. Like they are rising, or everything is looking great, it's a green field for them. All of a sudden some person from the opposite gender comes, and that becomes that challenges them, and they might face a defeat with them. Actually, they do have a good married life. Their sibling brothers may be more famous. They might lose money towards the second half of their life. Moving on to Venus. If you have Venus in the third house, these people usually have to work more hard as compared with the other peers. They're cautious in their dealings, they are impulsive and touchy. They get married early, and their spouse is a lot richer than them. They're affectionate towards their friends and relatives. They are good in communication. And these guys, they are found to have more sisters than brothers. Overall, they lead a happy, successful, and a rich life. Saturn. If you have Saturn in the third house, these guys are courageous. They might have a dark complexion. Um, they talk quite limited. I mean, like you cannot have extra verbiage in their speech. They speak like point to point. At work, they might not be much appreciated. People might like to steal credit for the work that these guys have done. Um, because of all the experiences in life, they might prefer to get married late. These guys might not have good terms with their father. Um, they are usually successful in jobs. In case of businesses, much later in the business, mainly in the jobs, and that too, like like this person might be a good individual contributor, but if they have to rise to the top ranks or interpersonal communication and soft skills, this is not something they are able to do until later half of their life, which means after like 35 or 36 years of age. It is when they realize like, hey, it's time for me to work on my soft skills or improve my communication. They might have challenges with progeny and may have less kids. Rahu. If you have Rahu in the third house, these guys are, I mean, like from the business perspective, they do great. They're adventurous and they like taking risk. Uh, they are, I mean, like for their spouse, it's always a roller coaster journey. Like this guy always is full of adventures, and life doesn't seem like normal when these guys are around. They are powerful, they're successful, they're good in communication. Now these people, they know how to play their cards. They know what to say, how to say, when to say. They're quite sharp and intelligent, and they can trick you in communication. Some of the famous lawyers, some of the famous executives. So these guys, they have Rahu in the third. Ketu. If you have Ketu in the third house, these people like to study different subjects, likes to talk about different subjects. They are rich, they are intelligent. As an example, somebody from the IT field, they are a developer, but they have quite a bit of knowledge in product. They have knowledge in project management and salesman, marketing. So these guys, they like to talk about different subjects. As an example, take Bill Gates for example. This guy being an IT guy, this dude, he knows about everything. He knows about viruses, he knows about medicines, he knows about what is the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency. So these kind of people who have Ketu in the third house, they like to talk about a lot of different subjects. They are curious, they are liberals and famous. They might suffer from heart disorders. However, if you have Jupiter influencing your Ketu, these people then can make spiritual progress. They can also be a preacher. They can guide people. They can mentor people. So that's all about planets in the third house. Thanks for watching it. And if you have any comment suggestion, please do not forget to add it in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like and do share it with your friends as well. Thanks again.